Okay, today we're going to talk about writing down patterns, writing down the rules for patterns that we see on an input and output table. Okay, but we're going to write down those patterns numerically, like in a number form. Okay, I'll show you an example. So let's say we have an input and output table. Okay, and the input and the output table. And we put input 1, and what we get out is 3. And then we input 2, and what we get out is 6. Then we input 3, and what we get out is 9. Then we input 4, and what we get out is 12. Okay, so what is the pattern? What seems to be the pattern? Well, the pattern seems to be on this side, you add 3. What is adding 3 multiple times? It's just multiplying by 3. So when we put input 1, 3 multiplied by 1 is equal to 3. 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. 3 multiplied by 3 is equal to 9. 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 12. So the rule is you multiply by 3. You multiply the input by 3. That's the rule for the pattern. And we're going to use n to represent each number. I'm going to say 3 times n. N could equal any number. It just means that's the input. 3 times n. In this case, n equals 1. 3 times 1. In this case, n equals 2. 3 times 2, 6. In this case, n equals 3. 3 times n equals 9. In this case, n equals 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So the rule for this pattern is 3 times n. N is the input, what you input. Okay, now let's look at another one. Let's say we have an input and output table. Okay, and the output is, say it's 1 and 0. Let's say it's 2, and this is 1. 3, and this is 2. 4, and this is 3. What is the rule for this input, for this pattern? Well, here it's just increasing by 1. So, but on this one, it's whenever you input 1, it goes to 0. Whenever you input 2, it goes to 1. Whenever you input 3, it goes to 2. Whenever you input 4, it goes to 3. So it seems to be subtracting 1 from the input. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So the rule for this pattern, of this input-output pattern, is n is n minus 1. And remember, n is just the input numbers, the number you input. In the first case, it's 1, n is equal to 1. In the second case, n is equal to 2. In this case, n is equal to 3. And in this case, n is equal to 4. Okay, so because 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, now let's take another one. Let's say we got input and output table. Okay, an input and output. You got to say it in this voice, otherwise it does not work. An input and output table, and you input let's say 1, and you get 1. And then you input 2, and you get 1. And then you input 3, and you get 1. And so on and so forth. It keeps going, and you always get 1. What is the pattern? Well, on this side, it doesn't change at all. It stays static. On this side, it seems to jump down to 1. This looks like it's This looks like it is subtracting the amount. This looks like it's subtracting, sorry, bravery. This looks like it's subtracting one more than the amount. For instance, for this one, it looks like it's subtracting 2 from 1, which is 1. From this side, it looks like it's subtracting 3 from 1, 2, which is 1. And this side, it looks like it's subtracting 4 from 3, which is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So what would be the pattern here? Well, you could say it's going like this. 1 plus n, put a little bit parentheses, minus n. So 1 plus n, 1, n just equals the number you input. So in this case, 1 is equal to n is equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And since n is equal to 1, this is just 1. So this is 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. And then same thing with here. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. That's how we do it. Try it out. Let's go. Yee!